What's going on, guys? This is Miasin and welcome to the OCG metagame breakdown number 10, actually number 9 and 10, even though the number 10 is a little more interesting because it's obviously kind of like 1 week after. But yeah, this is a big compilation. It's 226 top performing decks, 50 tournaments. I think that's like 2 weeks or something. Usually it's in the 100s, right? This is 120, and then the other one was 185. And then this one was 208, that's obviously a lot. But yeah, 226, so that's a really nice sample size. And the interesting thing is that this is including Valiant Smashers, so number 9 is also including that. But it's like literally on the release. And you're going to be seeing something very interesting really soon. Anyways, before we go any further into this OCG metagame breakdown that, of course, was brought to us by It's Your Boy Akira, huge shoutouts to you. Friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button, my man, you already know it. And now let's get right into it. Alright, so what is the best deck? It's still Rescue Ace, man. Nothing changed, 23%. That is definitely a lot, but I do remember it used to be a little higher. I think like 30% almost, so it's a little fall, but I mean not even that much because it's still such a good deck. And every single build, no exception, is playing the Sinful Spoils. So, you know, that's just to give you an idea of how good this engine is, especially in Rescue Ace, and it's also good, like, in other decks, actually. In Tearlaments, you can also mess around with it. It can help you summon Chaos Ruler, because your Diabell Star, the Dark Witch, is level 7, and then you also get yourself, like, your 1-for-1 spell that can summon a level 1 fire from the deck. You can summon Jet Synchron, then you make Chaos Ruler, you mill 5, and then you revive back the Jet Synchron, you make Howled Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, that gets you a negate. It's really nice, so you can do a lot of things, and obviously you still have access to Zombie Vampire, because then you revive back the Chaos the Ruler, and then you also use your Horus monsters. So yeah, Tearlaments also has a lot going for it, and this deck will never die in the OCG. I can't believe it's been tier 1 for that long. It's nuts, man. Actually, I mean, it was tier 0 at a certain point, and now it's tier 1. It's only tier 1. It's only the second best deck. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. But yeah, really good deck. And yeah, I don't really have much to say about Sinful Spoils, but Tearlaments I do have a lot because, as you can see, there's just so many variations, right? There is a Shizu, and then Kashtira. I don't even know what the hell this is because Fenrir's banned. So, like, what is a Kashtira Tearlaments? Like, you're playing 1 Unicorn and, like, 1 Birth? That's a nice deck you got there, Bernard. Danger Ishizu tier. I don't know if that... actually, no, that's true. They do have Curious, so playing Danger Monsters makes sense. But in the TCG, you should not do that. But yeah, Ishizu Visa's Tearlaments, so that is with Visa Samsara. Used to be a little more popular, but now it's actually losing in play. It's a 1-card mill, like 13, because you're milling 5 with Chaos Ruler, and then 4 with Zombie Vampire, and then an extra, like, 7 with Curious, or 8, rather, because you're going to be sending, like, Agido or Kelbeck, and then you mill an extra 3 with the actual effect of Curious when a card is Foolished. So it's a good 1-card starter, but it does involve breaks, unfortunately. That's just, like, the thing with the Visa's cards. You always have to play, like, garbage cards that you're not really trying to draw. It's not good. Anyways, the rest is whatever. Like I said, Sinful Spoils, Adventurer, Ishizu, Tearlaments. Sinful Spoils, Ishizu, Kashtira, Tearlaments. Yes. Yeah, basically. Anyways, purely, third best deck with 1 Sleepy Memory. So the deck is a little different. They're not drawing 6 cards on your freaking standby phase. They're only drawing 2. But they can actually hard make Noir on turn 1 way easier than over here because they have 3 Delicious Memory. We only have 1. So that is the difference. Here we're especially making the big kitty on our opponent's turn. Over there, maybe things are different. They're also playing Desires because that is the one way to replenish their hand advantage. But it is a little dangerous. So you gotta wait, like, you gotta summon all your kitties from deck and then use Desires and then shuffle back your kitties with a trap card. That's basically what they're doing. Anyways, Vanquish Soul, yes, of course, that's a good deck with, especially with the new support, the Fire Monster Jiaolong. Fantastic card. And also Sinful Spoils Resonator. That's really spicy. Labyrinth, okay, so kind of neck and neck. The Pure Labyrinth and the Unchained Labyrinth. Again, it's only 1 monster and 1 trap card. Charvara and Escape. That's it, that's all. But a lot of extra deck cards, though, because they're kind of generic. Well, I mean, you need, like, Fiend monsters and sometimes, like, a monster and, like, an Unchained Soul monster. But, like, Yama is an Unchained Soul that's generic, using only 2 Fiends. So, yeah, you can get your Unchained engine going just with your Labyrinth cards. That's really nice. Anyways, Runic, Branded, Centurion. Okay, this is really interesting. So, on breakdown number 9, this deck was not seeing that much play. Because, obviously, there's always kind of like a learning curve. People are always trying to figure out the deck when it just comes out. But now, people are slowly but surely figuring out the deck. And I don't know if people in the OCG watch my videos, but, yo, This is literally exactly what I showed. I mean, to be fair, it's not that spicy. It's not spicy at all. You're really just like summoning Legate on your turn, and then Crimson Dragon on your opponent's turn into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. There are billions of different ways to do that. And every single one of those combos, if I recall correctly, I just showed it in my video anyways. So yeah, if you want like a visual representation of that, just go check it out. It should be easy to find out on YouTube. Yasin 656 Centurion combos. But yeah, it's a great deck. Obviously, I'm gonna come back to that later on. Magician, I keep talking about how good the Supreme King engine is. It's because you can summon Zark on your opponent's turn. Zark is extremely powerful. And if you're not negating the effect of Zark, which the new trap card you're not, it's kind of unfair. It's kind of like a Ojama Delta Hurricane on the opponent's turn. When on summon, it destroys every card your opponent controls. Again, one card combo. She's not too bad. And Electrum is a thing. And I don't know if people are really playing Anti-Spell and D-Barrier anymore, but yeah, Magician kind of has it easy, huh? Bestial Dragon Link. This is so much better in the TCG. Exorcister, not too bad. It's not a bad deck. And yo, shoutouts to my boy Dave Trépanier for coming up with such a cool engine in Exorcister. He's actually the innovator of that, but the Cyber Dark package. Basically, when you're going for like a normal summon of a Cyber Dark, obviously you're not special summoning a monster, so that is not clashing with Martha, and you get extra normal summons of Cyber Darks thanks to the Cyber Dark realm, but you're also getting back a card from the graveyard into the spell and trap zone, and that triggers your Martha. So the synergy is nuts. Exorcister Cyber Dark, and you're also getting like a lot of versatility, like some nice effects because your cannon, no sorry, I think it's the claw. When your monster battles, you get to send a card from your extra deck to the grave, so you can send like Elder Entity Entis and start destroying cards. And you're not playing the bad Exorcisters, obviously. You're only playing Martha and Elise. Everything else, no. Anyways, Dinosaur, Dogmatic Invoked, Horus Chimera, Phantom Knight, Recut, Shy Brigade Lyrilusk, Unchained, only 3. Oh my god, this deck is borderline tier 0 in the TCG. But you see, this is the difference, right? Rescue Ace over here is garbage. Regardless of how, I mean, in the TCG, not garbage. I'm exaggerating, but it's not great. Whereas Unchained, on the other hand, is unfair. And I want to say that might very well be just because Maxi, it just makes Rescue Ace so much better because they don't need to special summon a lot for them to apply pressure. Like, they only really need like one special summon sometimes to get into Turbulence, and then they can set 4 cards. And that's kind of good. Like, if they get Maxied, they only make their opponent draw 1 or 2 cards, and they end on several interruptions and hand traps. And it makes sense why this deck is so good over there. But Unchained, it has to special summon like 9 times if they want to do something good. So it's usually not worth it at all. Anyways, Adamancipator, Dinomorphia, yes, Hero, Mathmech, oh my god, no, Mathmech, Adignister, Manadome, oh my god, even with Trilusugda, they're not doing anything. The new level 6 Synchro is so good though, it's a Monster Reborn, makes Riom Heart a 1-card combo, so I don't know why it's doing like nothing. Oh yeah, that's true, Yak Sign, it's because of Maxi, obviously. Orcus, Sky Striker, Valiance, Blackwing, yo, shoutouts to Kanak, man, the freaking man, the myth, the legend. If you're watching this, this one's for you. Blackwing's so good, man. Yo, don't sleep on the deck. It's really nice, but you have to build it like perfectly. It's really hard to play, really hard to deck build, but it's definitely rewarding if you know what you're doing. And yeah, definitely much better than I thought. It's crazy how good this deck is. But yeah, Simoon is like insane, and Sodri with Black Whirlwind, you can play through like a hand trap like it's nothing. It's nice. Anyways, Grass, Info Spoils, Horus Adventure, Eldritch. A lot of grass decks, like literally 6 in a row. Or Asterion, and I'm not even gonna bother with the rest. Alrighty, now let's get into Rescue Ace. So it's actually really funny, but you can get your Diabellstar engine going, and you can unbrick thanks to your opponent, because if your opponent goes into Diabellstar the Dark Witch, and then, you know, does a few things, you can actually go dark, revive back your opponent's Diabellstar, and then you get your your Snake Eye something, your 1-for-1 basically. I don't even know the name. I just know that it special summons a level 1 fire monster from the deck. So your hand can literally be like dog shit, and you can not only unbrick, but also go into like an access code. You can climb into like a Celine, revive back Effect Veiler, and even if you have yourself no spell cards, it's all good in the hood. It changes nothing because Celine also counts your opponent's spell cards in the graveyard. So yeah, it's really easy to go into an access code, or you can go into the Reprodocus combo with a Link Decoder. That's a combo that I showcased a while back, but it's really nice in Rescue Ace. Hydrant is a 1-card access code with just like 3 cards in your extra deck. That's it, that's all. So it's really nice, and the deck is still, you know, much different than you think, because it also plays with SP Little Knight and Synchro Monsters. So that is the big key difference that we're going to have with the OCG, because with Olion and Auroradon, no shit, they're making actual negates in the deck is unfair, because they managed to turn a mid-range deck into a combo deck. If you max C them, they go Turbulence, only summon Turbulence, effects at 4 pass. But if you don't max C them, they actually play like they were a combo deck. They were going to link off summon Auroradon, because a bunch of machine monsters in the deck, right? So they only need like 2 monsters and 1 machine. They link off at the Barricade Board Blocker, which is like generic, and it's a machine, and then you make Auroradon, summon 3 tokens, Tribute 2, summon Olion, and then, I don't know, sync off into like Axel Synchro, send the Jet Synchron, summon Borreload Savage or Ephidon Dragster, and then revive back the Jet Synchron, summon Herald of the Arclight, and you still have your Turbulence to set 4, like, bro, like, but I do believe that Rescue Ace will get a hit. I don't know, maybe Emergency Limit, maybe Turbulence Limit, that's not even gonna do too much because these cards are 2-ofs anyways. I don't think the deck is gonna get murdered because it's not like a tier 0 deck, it's not destroying everything else, but yeah, maybe like a very small consistency hit. That would change a little bit, or maybe Auroradon banned once and for all. Because I don't understand how they can have so many disgusting combo cards in the game. Again, you can justify the existence of everything with Maxi. That's what I hate about this game sometimes. But Yakshine, Block Dragon is a really fair card. They have Maxi. No, that doesn't make it a fair card, though. It's still unfair. It doesn't matter. If a card is really powerful, it's not... It doesn't become garbage just because Maxi is a thing. What if your opponent doesn't draw Maxi? Then all of a sudden the card is broken? Like, what? No, the card is always the same power level. Anyway, side deck, as if this deck wasn't playing enough hand traps, like 8, 11 hand traps, and then side an extra 7 with board breakers, and disgusting. Oh my god, no. Anyways, Tearlaments, that is the second best deck, but this is a pile deck, right? And it doesn't exist whatsoever in the TCG. Like, everything about this deck, forget about it. Because again, the whole gimmick is Chaos Ruler. Otherwise, the Sinful Spoils engine is not doing much. Because again, they're summoning Jet Synchron, and this is level 7, this is a level 1 tuner. Revolution Synchron, also pretty nice. And then the Brave Token engine, even though this is a 2-of, they're only playing 1. Which is funny, right? Like, why the hell are you semi-limiting a card that people are completely happy playing at 2 anyways? Like, if anything, Water Enchantress should be limited. And like, not even this card at 2. Like, this is such a stupid hit. Sometimes I just don't understand the logic. But whatever. The Tearlaments cards, I don't even think Reino Heart to 1 even changes anything anymore. Oh, a very interesting thing is no Trivi Karma, and obviously no Meta Noise, that's understandable. Kashtira is not a thing. But yeah, no Trivi Karma, that's, yeah, interesting, right? But, whatever, I mean, Grief, the one Scream, Thinking, that's like barely a Tearlaments deck anymore. It's just like it's a good stuff deck. That's honestly all it really does. And by the way, this is the beginning of a new era where Ghost Ogre is good again, because it's been garbage for a little too long. But Ghost Ogre is that kind of card that just pops in and out of formats because sometimes it has like one really good application. And Ghost Ogre against Centurion is pretty good. Against the Field Spell, it's not that great because the Field Spell has built-in protection if you control a Centurion monster card. Could be in your Spell and Trap Zone, it's still a monster card. But the Centurion monsters themselves, they will lose out to Ogre really big time. So yeah, if you got Ogre or Cosmic Cyclone and stuff like that, you should be all good in the hood, actually. But no other hand trap is really good. And another thing, no main deck Ash. So if you get Max Seed in this deck, you're it resolves. That's it, that's all. No Call by the Grave, no Cross Out, nothing. This is like pure gas, really consistent, really clean. I really like this. You are not breaking with this deck. And side 1 Mudora, very interesting. Yeah, I don't like the Ishizu cards, but to be fair, this one's like the worst. If you draw it with like, it's still an Ishizu though. It's like, I wouldn't sleep on it. But yeah, 2 Lawn Mowing in a 40 card deck list. Every single time I see this, I'm always like, bruv. And then Super Poly, because the Crimson Dragon and Centurion Legate are light attributes, so you can actually fuse both for Mud Dragon of the Swamp. They still don't have Garura. Oh my god. I feel so bad for them. Like, bro, their Super Poly is so much worse than here, and it's only a 2. Over here, it's a 3, and it's cracked because we have one of the best Super Poly targets to ever exist in the history of the game. So I really don't understand how... I can see this card, like, all of the time in Tearlaments, but honestly, Super Poly and Tearlaments right now, it's not the best. It's really not good. Yeah, something else, actually, nah, yeah, there's really not much to even talk about here. Yeah, I guess Ghost Ogre is also not too bad against decks that play Skill Drain, because you can Ogre yourself, and, yeah, that's, no, yeah, sometimes that works, but anyways, purely, alright, so, again, they're siding to Unending Nightmare because it's good against Centurion, but Is there anything to even cover in the main deck? I feel like at this point you guys are already kind of aware of everything. Stellar Nemesis Typhon, no Relinquished Anima, very interesting. I guess he's just assuming that everybody is not stupid and never summons in column 2 or 4. But yo, if your opponent is misplaying, yo, it's better take advantage of it, right? And yeah, in the side deck, 2 Sphere mode, very interesting, okay. And then Nibiru, double Lancia, Ghost Bell, DD. Why Lancia? It's not good. It's not great against Rescue Ace, honestly. It really doesn't do that much. I don't really like this. And then Ghost Bell 1, no cross out. This is so random. Like, I get that you're trying to draw this off of Maxi, but it's still like such a low impact card. And DD Chrome, I guess this is not too bad in the purely mirror match, and it's also playable against tier elements. And so I understand why there's DD Crow over Bestials, but I don't know, this just doesn't look, this doesn't feel right at all. One Nibiru does make sense, because if your opponent is comboing off like way too hard, you're eventually going to draw into that Nibiru and it's high impact. But like low impact cards like Ghost Bell and DD Crow, I don't know about that. Anyways, 2 copies of Talents, 1 red reboot, 3 summon limit. Okay, so that's actually kind of nuts. I mean, summon limit in purely, I haven't seen that in a minute, but nobody's playing the Book of Moon and Book of Eclipse cards, so you know it's you don't really have to be afraid of those cards. So in the TCG, that's what people are doing. So in other words, the way to counter that would be by playing Anti-Spell. No, sorry, Solemn Judgment, not Anti-Spell. What the hell? That's to be fair, it kind of also works because you Anti-Spell on draw phase, and then your opponent has to chain the Book of Moon, and then, well, actually, you can do it on standby, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then, yeah, you draw 2, and then you go Anti-Spell. After drawing 2, your opponent has to chain the Book of Moon, and then you chain the trap card, and you just win the game. So yeah, your opponent's also not trying to go like draw phase, Book of Moon, because then you go standby, chain, and then you still draw 2 on standby. Whatever, it's complicated if you're not like thinking about it in your head, but trust me, it makes sense. But yeah, Centurion is playing 3 Horus Imseti, 1 Duamutef, 1 Happy. This one makes you draw cards when one of your cards leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, and this one makes you recycle back 2. So in other words, since there's 3 different Horus monsters, you could theoretically, technically make Coach King Giant Trainer, but this guy's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna use them as like actual monsters to make level 12 synchros, because they're all level 8, and you can also make Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, play around Handtraps, play around the Ghost Ogre as well. So you're really safe from like everything, and you're always discarding cards either with your Field Spell or Imseti or Pharaonic Sarcophagus. So playing Gamma and Driver just doesn't really have any drawbacks. You might as well, right? If you draw Gamma and Driver, that's the only way they're bad. But even if you just draw Driver, it's fine. It's gonna be your discard anyways. So yeah, that's the same thing that we have in the TCG. People do play Gamma and Driver when they're playing decks that just discard a lot. Like Dragon Link is one of those decks. And there's another one. Oh, Labyrinth, of course. With the furniture monsters. But yeah, 3 Primera, 3 Chudea, 1 Emmet 6, I think that's the name. Yeah, it's the worst one. And then a lot of 1-card starters, but no Bonfire. What the heck? That's nuts. And the counter trap too. And the trap card is really good, so I get that. 2 Call by the Grave, 1 cross out. 1 cross out with a Ghost Ogre, that makes sense. It's the one hand trap that beats you. You're not trying to draw Ghost Ogre, you're trying to counter it. This deck does not really lose to Nibiru, so there's kind of no reason to play it for the cross out, and to be fair, nobody's really playing Nibiru. We can see 1 Nibiru in the side deck here, and then no Nibiru at all here, obviously, and then 2 Nibs in the Rescue Ace side deck. But it's just not a great hand trap in the OCG, because the game style... the playstyle, you're usually making negates really early on, either with a Brave Token engine and tier elements, or you're just not summoning that much, or summoning floaters, so even if you get nibbed, it doesn't matter. And again, Rescue Ace is making negates really early on, or it's doing irrelevant things, and then negates, and then Turbulence. So you're never really nibbing to make them lose their access to set 4, which is the most relevant thing about the deck. But yeah, in conclusion now, we can see that Centurion started off not being the best, but they're actually becoming better and better. I think, again, people are just realizing slowly but surely that the deck is pretty good, but at the same time, it does kind of struggle with interruptions, and it's just breaking boards is generally difficult. Like, you have to rely on your Horus engine, because if you're just going second and you go like normal summon Primera effect to search, you're not doing much else. You're not breaking boards inherently by normal summoning a monster, activating a field spell, get a card in your spell and trap zone, and then special summon. All of your actions are really predictable. And again, this deck gets stomped by Unending Nightmare, Cosmic Cyclone, Ghost Ogre, etc. So yeah, if you want a floodgate that consistently and reliably beats Centurion, you already know what to play. So yeah, never-ending fun. I love that card, actually. It's one of my favorite cards of all time. All hail the Unending. But yeah, that's all I had actually for this OCG metagame breakdown. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.